Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Jnanatimirandasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Mena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Namah Vishnupadaya Krishna Pristhaya Bhutale Shrimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Iti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschat Deshatarine Mukam Karoti Vacharam Pungam Langayate Ganim Yatkripātamam Bandhe Shri Guru Dinatarinam Hare Krishna. Actually, one's progress in Krishna consciousness depends on the faith of the follower. Now, a question will always come, oh, then how do we develop this faith? For example, dear devotees, if you want to see the sun, we need to get up in the morning and open our windows and then see through that. But if we insisted or persisted not to do that, then no matter even the sun is there, still that is not benefiting us. That means we cannot see the presence of the sun through our consciousness because our way of seeing the things is different. Because we are thinking that the sun is not helping me or the sun is not helpful. I can do my own things independent of the sun. I can create my own energy. I can create my own system. Actually, this creation of my own thing, my own system, my own energy is not a new thing, dear devotees, which we kind of cultivated in this life. No. Creation of my own thing has been there since we left the Lord in the spiritual world. It is actually very interesting because the moment we came away from Him, see, even in the spiritual world, we have unlimited independence. Not that we only have here. In the spiritual world, also we have unlimited independence. But all that independence was used in alliance with the Lord. Krishna is so merciful that we used it. So, so that is the whole idea actually. His independence, this independence we used like in separation of the Lord. So through that, that is also one kind of faith. Not that that is not the faith. That is also one kind of faith. Hare Krishna, dear devotees, do you hear any disturbances? But you're okay.
No, Prabhuji, we are good.
You're good, okay. So the independence which we cultivated, this independence is not coming just now also, dear devotees. The attitude to lord over this material nature has been there since time immemorial. Prabhupada says about that. Since time immemorial, we have cultivated this consciousness. Now, from where this began, is it through illusion we do that, or is it through our desires we do that? That is another question. One second. So that question will always come. Is it through our desires we received this, or is it through illusion? Technically speaking, it is through our desire only. First desire came, then illusion manifested. Not that we are always in illusion. No, staying in spiritual world is not an illusion. Dear devotees, the moment we do not see that, for example, we don't see. This is how the faith would work in this world. For example, you are driving like you're flying in an aircraft. You have an understanding that there is a pilot who is actually driving it. Do we put do we put faith and trust on him that he's a good driver, that he will take care of us? Yes, we do that. Let's say we send our children to a school. Don't we have faith and understanding that this school will give good results to my son? Yes, we do that. You go to office, you work, you have a team. Don't you have a faith and conviction that my team members will work for me? Yes, we have. For me, in the sense, for the company. You have to lead the show. You have to lead your team. So that's there. So if you technically see at every moment, this faith is there. And this entire material world is actually running on this. People of America, they vote for president, thinking that this person will be will be helpful for them, so that he will help in some shape or form. So at every point, you see, dear devotees, there is a faith actually. But if we closely observe, the faith which we are cultivating in this material world, as that is independent of the Lord, that faith, even though it gives some satisfaction, but it doesn't give real satisfaction in the life. For example, we might earn so much, or we might do this, or we might do that. You might do this job for a livelihood. But still, all of that, dear devotees, all of that is still not giving satisfaction to the heart. Through this dissatisfaction, we sometimes we feel fearful. Please understand this. How fear is is very instrumental in our life. Actually, at certain point of life, we do devotion out of fear only. Now I'll tell how we do devotion out of fear. Because if I do not eat Krishna Prasad, I will get karma. Or if I do not eat Krishna Prasad, that is a sin. So I should eat Krishna Prasad. If I get karma, then I'll get reactions. So I will not do that because it is falling under karmic reactions. Please try to understand this. At every step also, there is a tinge of this fear which is mixed in devotion also. So this fear, the moment we turn from the Lord, that is when it caught us. Please understand. You see, every living entity, especially in India, we see this. Then sparrows do come early in the morning, some grains. It is eating some grains, but it is watching here and there. Sparrows or pigeons. Because it is fearful state, thinking that somebody else might come. You know how difficult it is? The consciousness which she is going through, and it is not eating wholeheartedly, rather it is eating out of to eat, out of in a state of perplexity. No, this is actually the state of consciousness everyone is going through. So that fear is very deep, dear devotees. The fear is actually bounding us in this material world. Through fear only, the surrender doesn't manifest, because if I surrender, what's going to happen? If I do this, what's going to happen? If I do that, what's going to happen? What's going to happen to my family? What's going to happen to my children? What's going to happen to myself? So this fear is actually not allowing us to move forward in our practice of Krishna consciousness. No, this is also one level of faith only, dear devotees. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu continuously telling wherever he goes, you chant Hare Krishna, you follow the process, do hearing and chanting. Why? Because he knows that is the only thing which is available. Everything which we do in this world, it's like out of the real essence. So there's so many things in this world, dear devotees. To catch the real thing, one would require spiritual mastery in one's life. There's so many things. But that person, that trainer, he has to train us just like the lion is being trained in the circus. No, lion doesn't know how to jump from a ring. That is not the natural state. But it is doing. What it is doing? The lion is actually jumping from one state to the other state, from one ring to the other ring. How? Because it has a master. The master is trained. So that means the lion can jump anywhere it wants, but it is jumping through that ring only because it is being trained. Then the person who would see, he would ask, "Oh, this is very nice training the lion has received," because they know that the lion that is not the natural state of the lion. But now the lion is being trained up. That's why a lot of people will come and see in the circus. So, dear devotees, in this material world, the natural state is to be unnatural. Now, what is that natural state? That natural state is to enjoy this world. That's why if somebody is really practicing the process of Krishna consciousness, it looks unnatural. But when we see our acharyas, when we develop a relationship with them, then it really makes sense to us actually. Because we should have a go-to source. And we should also have a person in our life who's actually following that to the core of his heart. So through that person only, dear devotees, we get inspiration actually to do. I was always thinking about this. If I do not have the spiritual master, if I do not have my trainer who is actually training up my consciousness, then what will I do? I will do so many unwanted things, which all might be correct in the material world, but that is not pleasing them. There's so many things in this world to be done. But what is the real thing and the right thing to be done? That we learn through Guru Sadhu Shastra. That is the whole point why we have to hear, why we have to do our sadhana. Why we have our sadhana every day that we should chant our rounds, 16 rounds. Why? Because that itself is a placeholder for us. Because that is a recommended process given by our acharyas. That means we can do so many other things. But what real thing we have to do, that we learn through them. And when we try to apply them to the core of the heart, then chanting of Hare Krishna Mahamantra one round will give satisfaction actually. Please understand. Vitaraga Bhayakroda Manvana Mamupasita. What is Krishna telling? Vita Raga Krodha Bhaya. Bhaya is what? Fear. Now, why fear comes in this world? Because we have expectation. That means, don't we have any expectation in this world? No, we should have a right expectation. We should not have wrong expectations. Just like I told, right? There's a pilot. We have an understanding that he will ride. We put faith on him. You get a boarding pass. Do you go to any gate or do you go to the gate where you have to go? Let's say it says gate 30. Do you go to 10? Do you go to 20? Do you go to 25? No, we go to 30 only. Because that is what we have received. Likewise, whatever our spiritual master they're teaching us, that is what we should just follow. And then following is also through inquiry. It is not that we blindly follow. It is through inquiry. Pranipatena pariprashnana seva. When pranipatena is there, pariprashna is there, then only service factor will come. When pranipatena pariprashna is not there, service factor will not come. If service factor is not there, then also we cultivate some kind of faith in this world, but that some kind of faith in this world is not the real faith in this world. Just like you go to any gate thinking that I'll go to Tampa. No, we should go to the correct place. Likewise, if you practice anything so-called spirituality in this world, thinking that you'll go to the spiritual world, that is also illusion actually. We cannot proclaim our own things, dear devotees. We should always proclaim the things which are given by our acharyas. And the spiritual master should be example for that. Otherwise, we should not follow that person. Please understand this. This is not like we are wasting our valuable time. No. The following should be very strict, very important. If you see that kind of person, you should immediately accept the truth and then follow from there. Otherwise, we should not. Because if he is not connected to Parampara, where he will not take us anywhere. He should actually cultivate that conviction in our heart. Yes, yes, this process is working. Because I see him is following it, is happy, now I'll also follow. So that I'll also become happy. Simple thing, dear devotees. If I give you this book, you accept it. That's it. Acceptance, for acceptance, you need not need so much understanding, so much philosophical churning. No. To cultivate faith, one would require a loving relationship actually. Just like a child, the son has a faith on the mother. So the son simply would accept whatever the mother is telling. The moment he accepts, he gets everything. Because the mother will tell who the father is. So son need not do so many tests, this, that, so many other things to figure out who the father is. He should just simply go to the mother, and the mother will tell because he has faith in the mother. It is a relationship. So this has to be cultivated. When that is cultivated, Aro, there is no fear in one's life. For example, if we understand Krishna is our supreme father, then why fear? All we need to do is manmana mamupasitaha. Cultivating that consciousness, cultivating that consciousness of manmana mamupasitaha. What is manmana mamupasitaha? Thinking about the Lord, thinking about the absolute truth, not just thinking, following the absolute truth, invoking that absolute truth, that beautiful consciousness into our life. That we need to pursue. So the more we perceive that, the more we will relish the process. It's a very practical science, dear devotees. Krishna consciousness is not like they show us something and then one day all of a sudden we become pure souls. No, it will not manifest like that. We have to put that in action. Then it will manifest. It's a practical science actually. It is not like you go to the temple and then break a coconut, all the problems will be removed. No, it doesn't work like that, dear devotees. The material nature doesn't remove those problems. Simply by breaking a coconut, things will not shape up. We used to do that, right? When we have results, we go to the temple and then break a coconut, pray to the Lord. Please, please give me good results. It will not work in that way. So the logic is pretty clear. What is the logic? The logic is to understand the truth through faith and conviction. When that faith is built, then what happens? There's no question of fear actually. You see, Arjuna was fearful. What he did? He submitted to Krishna. Who is Krishna? Krishna is the spiritual master. He's not submitting to the Krishna who is his friend. Please understand the difference. When there is fear, Krishna is not telling, oh Arjuna, Arjuna is not telling, oh Krishna, let's go here, you know, let's play for some time. Or let's do this, let's do that. No. Arjuna Krishna is not actually Krishna. Arjuna is not asking Krishna in that way, but rather what Arjuna is doing. This is actually the essence of Gita, actually, dear devotees. Arjuna submitting himself to the Lord. That Lord is the spiritual master. And then now he is telling, now he is establishing that platform. Please, Krishna, you tell me whatever you want, I will do it. And then Krishna immediately says, you do this. Krishna says, you fight. That's it. He did it. So within 20 minutes, not within 20 minutes actually, within few moments, Krishna has spoken Gita for half hour, but within few moments, Arjuna got convinced that yes, I have to do. Karishya Vachanam Tava. Now he told Karishya Vachanam Tava at the end, but he's already fixed up in the process. The moment he submitted himself and then hearing couple of words from Krishna, he understood where the problem is. And he was happy. That's why, dear devotees, this is a happy process. Krishna consciousness is a happy process. For sure. There is no doubt about it. Simply by following the instructions of Srila Prabhupada, simply follow the specific instruction what our spiritual master gives. If we do this, in this very lifetime, you'll be free from all these things. Are not if forget about lifetimes. Actually, few classes will be free from all these things. Very, very important. Because, but for this, we have to submit. Without submission, we will not be free. Because the material nature is very powerful. We might try. We might try getting that happiness without submission. But that will come for a moment and then go. I'll also tell that also. Because without submission, getting happiness is like mode of passion. What is mode of passion? Mode of passion is not to fully follow, still carrying our heart that this will give me happiness. Still carrying our own thing in our consciousness. That is itself is mode of passion. Through that, we get some benefit, some punya, but it is not devotion. Devotion only begins after this step. Just like Arjuna submitted to the Lord, we should always keep this in the heart. In our heart and heart, we should see how, what way we can submit ourselves. Because time is running out to every one of us. We should see this state. When we see this state, then we will make a lot of progress actually. There is no doubt about it. Whoever does it, they will get it. I remember my spiritual master last year when we were going to Vrindavan, in the train, he was telling us, Srila Prabhupada is ready to give us unlimited mercy, but he is only asking from us one thing. What is that one thing? Complete submission and surrender. He's asking that one thing. He says, if we do that, Prabhupada is ready to give us everything. That is what Lord Chaitanya, we discussed, right? Vamshilas Prabhu sang today. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and his beautiful qualities. So he himself is manifesting that through their heart, through their consciousness, through their exam. So Krishna, when he descends, he personally shows that. He personally approaches his spiritual master. He personally inquires from him. He personally serves him. It's a beautiful science actually. So when that is manifested in the heart, why faith will not come? Faith will come. What is that faith? That is a real faith actually. That real faith is what? That will dissipate the darkness. Omajnana timirandasya jnananjana shalaka. That will actually dissipate. And then through the dissipation, what happens? The fear factor will go. Krishna personally tells Arjuna because Arjuna was fearful on the battlefield of Kurukshetra. That is why he submitted himself. Through that fearful state, Arjuna, through that fearful state, what is he doing? He is actually inquiring from the Lord. No, my dear Krishna, this fear was not there to me before. Before also I had difficulties, but why? Only now I'm fearful. Why am I kept in a perplexed state? He's actually seeing because he can actually check his heart. He can actually perceive his consciousness, what is happening. There is a little deviation here. If there is a little deviation here, then he knows what to do, what not to do. That is a blessing actually. So the moment he does that, dear devotees, Krishna immediately dissipated the darkness. Manmanamam upasitaha. Just simply be absorbed in the process of Shravana and Kirtan. And whoever is absorbed in that, there is no question. There is no question in cultivating fear. Fear will not stay. Why it will stay? It will not stay. Because what are we cultivating? We are cultivating that right faith. That right faith is what we left when we left the Lord in the spiritual world. We've forgotten that. Because what did we do? We showed our back to the Lord. The moment we started showing our back to the Lord, that is when we are kept in darkness, complete darkness. Ajnana, timirandasya. To remove ajnana, to remove darkness, what we need to do? We need to come into the sun. What is the sun? This is absolute truth. Simply by hearing, simply by chanting, we get it. We don't have to lift like big things to get right consciousness. No, if you take right association, remember His Holiness Radhanath Swami Maharaj telling very important thing. He says, if you have right association, if you have a right training, if you have right shikshana, then everything will be dissipated. And he gave a warning. After taking right association, if you begin taking wrong association, this right association will not work. So very important. Please understand this. If after taking right association, if you begin taking wrong association, तो कुछ काम का होने वाला नहीं है वो. It will not help us actually. Why? Because what are we doing? We are not actually understanding the absolute truth in the right way. If you add one drop of poison, it's poison in a glass. If you add 10 spoons of poison, that is also poison. That means one drop of poison is contaminating the entire glass. Now nobody can drink that poison contaminated milk or water. We cannot drink. Likewise, the association of so-called association in this material world should be completely avoided. Now, through that avoidance, no, that means we say, oh, Prabhu, we are going to office. You go, but don't connect there. You work, but don't dwell there. Because you simply work for the pleasure of the Lord, the pleasure of Krishna. You do not have any other business in this world. Krishna is our only business. There is no superior person than Krishna in this creation, dear devotees. Rajavidya Rajaguhyam Pavitram Idam Uttamam. Krishna tells Arjuna that this is the most confidential knowledge. That means what is most confidential knowledge means just accept as is. Then why this fear will come? This fear will never come. Very important. You know why and how the fear would come? Because of, again, through our insecurities. Because we have so many things in this world. Connecting, proclaiming that this will give me satisfaction. Because we're taking that association. Because through that association only, our life is kept in a duplication state. So simply by accepting the truth, by following the truth, by assessing the truth, by staying in the truth. Staying in the truth means what? Always be in the sunlight. Then there is a darkness? No, there is never a darkness actually. The moment you think about the Lord, the moment you think about our spiritual master, Acharyas, we are with them only actually. The moment we follow their instruction, we are with them only, they are with us only, they are with us right now at this moment. Who said they are very far from us? No. They are with us right now. All we need to do is we need to just follow what they say. This is submission. This is what Arjuna did. This is what we need to do. But the problem in this world is we don't submit to a person. We don't submit to a superior person in our life. There is no authority in our life. If there is no authority in one's life, what happens? You know what is? You see the street dogs. Street dogs doesn't have a belt. The moment they see, especially in India, in America, you don't see street dogs. In India, when you see street dogs, the municipality, they will come, the MCH people, the municipality people, they will come and then they will take the street dogs. But the moment they see belt, they would understand, no, she has a master. So they will try to find the master and then give it to him. The dog is protected. Because we should have a master in our life. When we have a master in our life and when we follow his instructions, then what happens, this fear will not stay. It will go away. These anarthas will not stay, Prabhu. Matachis, they will not stay. But further submission is required. Whatever he says, you should do it. This attitude should come. Diksha, Diksha Guru, if the person is a pure soul, he just requires Diksha. He doesn't need any training. Please understand this. If a person received initiation from the Diksha Guru, he doesn't need separate training actually because he's a pure soul. For pure soul, it is not required. For Srila Prabhupada, separate Shikshana is not required. He just received Diksha from his spiritual master. That's. But for us, we are not that state. Constant daily Shikshana has to be there. So we should have a Shiksha Guru in our life. And that Shikshana has to be heard and then followed actually. Then what happens? Definitely the transformation will come. Because we are not in the pure state. That's why Shiksha is important. We require Shikshana. Through that Shikshana only, we can see our heart. We should check our heart. What is happening in my heart? Who is troubling me in my heart? This I need to check. That is what Arjuna did. He checked his heart. The moment he checked his heart, he understood, Are, this anarthas are pulling me. Oh, why? What is this happening? I had so many difficulties before, but none of those difficulties kept me in this state. But now this state of difficulties is actually troubling me. So I should take this very nicely. This checking of the heart has to happen. This is what is Shikshana, Prabhu. Prabhu and Matajis. This is Shikshana. This Shikshana, whoever takes it, his life will not be, his life will not be normal life again. He'll change and transform. Very, very important. That is what Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur is telling. Don't do simple mere showcase. Dushtamana Kitera Vaishnava. Oh, Manasa, oh, mind, what are you doing? You're thinking that simply by solitary chanting of Hare Krishna Mahamantra you become pure. No, 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 you still have this desire to do sense gratification, to engage in sinful activities. You think about women in the thoughts, that is Dushta Manasa. So mere show will not take us. Mere show will not take us from one state to the other state. But the real submission will only take us from one state. That is what Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur is trying to teach us. Through his personal example, actually. It's not through some other means, through his example, through his life, through his 10 years, Prabhu. There are devotees. Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, 10 years. He had only morsel rice, this much. You know how much this is? This much. Just this much every day. That's it. 10 years. He did not cook. He did not cook in rice cooker or this, that. She dried up in the sun. Those little grains. That's it. And some little water. 10 years. Tapo divyam putrakaina satva. After receiving Diksha, receiving initiation from his, he's a pure soul. Doesn't need any separate training. He's empowered personality. Simply accepted it. 10 years he chanted 192 rounds. Then after that he started preaching. Wow. Actually, my daughter is showing Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, the picture. Exalted Vaishnava Acharya. So it's important. Whatever they are teaching us, we should strive to follow. Because that is our life and soul. This is how we develop it. You know how a lot of people will ask, oh, how do I develop relationship with the person who is speaking? How do I develop relationship with the person who are there in the previous acharyas? If we develop relationship to the person whom we are speaking, we are connected to the heart, then all the relationships in our entire group parampara up until Krishna is established in our heart and heart. This is a conviction. So how is that manifesting? We begin acting on that platform. In the moment we begin acting on the platform, then we see the change, transformation. Then we feel their presence in our life. Then we see Dushta Manasa. Oh, mind, it is only through you. I'm fearful. I'm in this particular fearful state. No, I cannot stay like this. That's how we understand. And we move forward. Hare Krishna. I think it's out of time. Should be vigilant of the time also. Thank you. Uh, we'll continue this thing tomorrow because it is very important. Hare Krishna. Anyone would like to add anything? Would like to share any comments? Can you hear me? I think my screen got blocked. Can you hear me?
Yes, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare
I'm
Krishna.
yes, Prabhuji.
Yes. Anyone would like to add anything? Because today's discussion is very important, devotees. Cultivating that right faith and Shraddha is so important. Please understand this. Very, very important. If you get this one thing, that's why Association of Spiritual Master or Shikshana has to be from them. So the more we aspire for that Shavana Shakti, if you develop that Shavana Shakti, oh, whatever you do, you'll actually remember these things. That is relationship. You'll tell the mind, oh, this is not right. I heard in the class. Who told in the class? No, I should not do this. That's it. Mind doesn't need big, big things, dear devotees. Simply yes or no. But that yes or no should be with conviction. Because it will cheat us otherwise. That's why Bhaktisiddhanta Thakur says, Dushta Manasa. Hare Krishna. Anyone would like to add anything? Would like to share?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, please accept my humble obeisances, Prabhu. All glories to Srila Prabhupada.
Amma, Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Very, very important class. Very, very important message. Submission, surrender, submission to the spiritual master. You brought up a very good point, Prabhuji. I mean, not that we didn't hear in the past, we hear all the time, and we have the same question all the time. Like Diksha Guru is there, Diksha Guru gives Diksha. Yes, we hear lectures from Diksha Guru, Kirtans, everything. We have core, him in the heart, core of the heart. Um, but we, but while practicing, that's how Krishna consciousness is inspiring, hearing from the Diksha Guru initially. But how come we have a lot of questions and none of the questions are getting answered? How would the questions be answered? That's where the Siksha Guru comes in, or Sikshana comes in. There should be a person, a live person. Yes, Srila Prabhupada is there, but uh, directly, like practically, um, how would we get that answered? How would we get the right answer for that moment? We need a person for sure. So that's where the Siksha Guru comes in with that Sikshana. So thank you so very much for sharing.
Actually, the
And yeah.
Shikshana is so important because I always think about this. Because, see, if we just say, oh, mind, if we just tell the mind, oh, you know what? I should follow the four regulative principles. No meat eating, no intoxication, no illicit sex, gambling, no gambling. Oh, should just follow this. It will not work like that. Oh, I should do 16 rounds. It will not work like that. Because the heart is not convinced. Please understand this. The mind is not convinced. Dushta manasa, that's not, is not accepting. That's why even Diksha Guru, they personally tell that you should always have a Shikshana in your life. They always say, even during our second initiation, Maharaj told us, have Shikshana, cultivate Shikshana, have Shiksha Gurus in your life. Because through that Shikshana, what is happening, dear devotees? Our consciousness is uplifting every day. Please understand. Without our knowing, we do so many things actually. Without our knowing, surrender will come. Without our knowing, we give donation. Up until that point of time, we were so catch up. We used to so much catch up that money with us. But after receiving Shikshana, this has to be used in the service of the Lord. We'll be convinced with that. And then we put steps. I'm just giving an example. There's so many other steps also. So all those other steps will manifest. Slowly, slowly surrender will come. Slowly, slowly submissiveness will come. Slowly, slowly we feel that relationship. Slowly, slowly we feel the presence of Srila Prabhupada in our life. We feel the presence of all the previous acharyas. We feel the presence of our Diksha Guru in our life. How? Through Shikshana. Very important. Because when Shikshana is rightly taken, we respect everyone actually. We will actually see how there are different gradations of respect also. Whom should we respect? Whom should not we respect? How should we take this? How should we not take this? How should I treat this particular situation? How the mind is cheating? We can actually see that. Just like Arjuna has seen, we can also see that through Shikshana. But for pure devotees, Shikshana is not required. They are already in the exalted state. But for us, Shikshana is important, is required. We should always be under the vigilance, under the guidance of our trainers. We should have the trainers. If we have any problem, we should immediately tell them, this is what is happening. We should express our situation. When that is expressed, then they can help us. Very important. Their devotees, they are not here to cheat us. Again, I repeat, they are not here to cheat us. So we should always be careful and to select that right persons in our life. We should move forward. Because if that person is helping us to come close to the process of surrender, if the person is showing us how to surrender, and surrender is also a very deep concept actually. We cannot just all of a sudden we say that, oh, Saradharman Pratyajit, Mamekam Sharanam Raja. No, it's a process. Process has to be, we should learn that process. If the person is not there in that state, he cannot give that. Please understand that. It's very important. That is why I remember my Shiksha Guru, he did not tell me to preach after many years of training. I think like 6, 7 years of training. Then he told, now we have to preach. Because he knows the state of consciousness of a person. He tells, without training, we cannot do anything. Simple thing, dear devotees. You're a Java developer. You've been added to a project. You don't know much. You do not have much training. Will you be successful in the project? No, we cannot be successful in the project because we know nothing. We know nothing. What is this? What is that? But when we have right training, then what happens? Then we do it. Then we will understand, oh, ऐसा करना है, ऐसा करना है, ऐसा है, code इधर लिखना है. This is how I need to write the code. This is how I need to do this. This is how I need to do that. This training has to be there. Hare Krishna. Very, very important. Otherwise, this fear, if this fear is very dangerous actually. This fear will kill us. Because that fear will keep us in the state of speculation. That's how people suicide. It's all through speculation. See, nobody is there to me, no one is hearing from me, nobody is there for me to, take care of me. I'm full and this and that. They deteriorate their consciousness so much. Then they will be convinced, the mind will convince that person, no, you should do this. Then he will do that. Because he's convinced. The mind will convince him, no, don't tell anyone. He'll not tell. What is the mind becoming? That mind is becoming the trainer to him. That's how this material world is designed. The mind cheats us up actually. Very important. That's why we should have a trainer. A trainer should always tell, no, this is wrong, this is not right, this is not right. Yes. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you, Sushilpama. I hope this is helpful.
No, Prabhuji, your message is much more important. And you answered the question. Thank you so very much.
Hare Krishna. Anyone else? I think it's too late today. We'll continue this tomorrow. Thank you. I hope, Harini Mataji, you got the answer for that fearful state.
Yes, sir, but still I have clarifications. I can ask tomorrow. Hare Krishna.
Yes, yes, yes.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Continue this tomorrow. Thank you all very much. Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Jai.
Hare Krishna, Pranam, all gracious Prabhupada.